Hey, okay, so busy weekend. I was tagged quite a bit, which I appreciate when you guys tag me, because there's a lot of times when I get really busy with my work, and so when you guys tag me, it helps me to get back into, yeah. So keep tagging me and stuff. So, at this expo that happened this last weekend, there was a trailer for Rise of Skywalker that was shown, and everybody just went crazy over the fact that Rey was wearing a black cloak and had a dual lightsaber, much like Darth Maul. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that Disney seems very, I don't, I don't want to say obsessed, but borderline with Darth Maul. You see him cropping up everywhere. Now, I like Darth Maul. He's one of the few villains that I actually like. I remember sitting in the theater and watching Darth Maul and just thinking, this guy is cool. I mean, he's a badass. He was an amazing addition to the Star Wars franchise. But, I just I'm not sure why Disney is he's popping up a lot lately, and just in the past couple years. And maybe it's just me. It could be just me. But anyway, back to Ray. A lot of theories are cropping up. I've read quite a few, um, and they work. There's a few times where I've read theories after a movie or as we're about to get to the film, and it's like, are you sure about that? I think you're stretching at this point. No, these work. Every single one of them works. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Hey, listen, I could sit down and talk with you about theories for days. I love theories. Love fan theories. So, I'm going to tell you how I feel about this Rey with the dual lightsaber. I think it's a vision. Um, Much like when Luke Skywalker was on Dagobah and the helmet blew up and you saw his face. This could go both ways. Um, it could be one of those where it's foreshadowing, much like with with Luke Skywalker, where it was saying, we were seeing what was going to happen a few more minutes into the movie. It was like the bombshell came. It could be that it's basically telling her, this could be your fate. And, or is it one of those where she's dressed in black and has that dual lightsaber because we're going to learn her parentage? It's possible. I mean, it could go several different ways as to why she's dressed like that. And, but I do think it's a vision because that's a Star Wars thing. It is very much a Star Wars thing. And, I don't see it as an actual part of, kind of like where Leia was dressed in that jumpsuit on Cloud City, and the one that I like so much. No, I don't think it's anything like that. After wearing that snowsuit for so long, and she finally wears something more kind of dressy. And then they put her back in the jumpsuit when Vader's there. But yeah, I do feel that it's kind of a vision, but as for what the purpose of it is, we'll find out in the movie. And now the interesting thing that I wanted to kind of throw out there, there was something that I was remembering, and it was Luke Skywalker at one point in the extended universe. I know, extended universe. I know a lot of people don't see it as canon because Disney said so. Well, Disney can't make me forget. But there was a point where Luke Skywalker turned to the dark side, and it was to defeat a Dark Lord. And it was really fuzzy to me. I couldn't remember if it was a Dark Lord, what Dark Lord or anything like that. So I looked. It turns out that it was Emperor Palpatine. So I have it right here. I will put it in the description for you if you're not familiar with it. And Dark Empire, if I can say it, was a series of comic books written by Tom Veitch, and I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, and illustrated by Cam Kennedy. They were originally released by Dark Horse Comics between December 1991 and October of 1992 as a 6-issue bi-monthly series, which were later compiled and sold as trade paperback. The name generally applies to both the original Dark Empire as well as its 2 sequel, Dark Empire 2 and Empire's End. All 3 comic series detailed the resurrection of Emperor Palpatine in clone bodies. And this takes place like 6 years after the Battle of Endor. I know that the movies take place like 20 years after, something to that effect. And I mean, when you read up on everything, the events are very similar to even as far back as The Force Awakens, close to, except for the part with Han and Leia struggle to protect the future of their unborn child. Yeah, guess what? But a lot of the other stuff is, it almost has me thinking that with this, they pulled out Luke and put Rey instead. Why not? They have the material. Why not use it? um Again, I will put this in the description. There are pictures that show Luke in Vader's armor and all that sort of thing. And I mean, there's things like, there's a quote here that says, "And now, my young apprentice, your father is dead. Have you come to join me? Will you take the place that rightfully belongs to you at my side?" And I mean, you go through and you read all of this, and it just, a lot of it, it's like, so, but again, why not? They have the material, why not use it? So, again, I will put this in the description for those of you that are not familiar with it. And I'm curious as to how you think, what you think and how you feel about it. I mean, do you think that this idea, this concept, the Dark Empire is kind of an idea for, inspiration, more like, I should say inspiration, for what we're about to see or have been following? And because to me it is. I shouldn't say that they just snatched it and used it and that sort of thing, but because I mean, there's no reason why they couldn't. So, but yeah, Because I knew that that story existed, and then when I looked it up, I did see that there was like a fan theory that was similar and from like 2017. So, of Luke turning to the dark side, I guess, after The Last Jedi came out. I was unfamiliar with that. So, I'm curious about that one. I'll have to read that one now that I know this. So, because again, I love theories. I love fan theories. My friend told me about um the my my brother and my one of my good friends told me about the Darth Jar Jar Binks. I was like, that's ridiculous. And then I read it. I was like, this is pure genius. Because that cropped up while I was in college. So they educated me on it, and I'm just like, this is pure genius. Oh my gosh. Whoever came up with it should be proud of themselves. That's amazing. So, but anyway, so that's how I feel about Rey. And again, what I'm seeing of the theories and everything cropping up for this Dark Rey and everything, I'm loving it. as, as only Justin Timberlake can say, that's the guy who wrote the song, right? Yeah, I can't keep up. I'm pretty sure it was his song. Everybody remembers it as the McDonald's song now. I think it was. Anyway, before I go too much off track. Yeah, so the fan theories, I've been reading them, I'm loving them, and again, with this, with Luke Skywalker, there's even a point in it where, with this Dark Empire, where Leia is tempted, but I don't remember what goes down with her, but she is tempted by Palpatine. So I don't remember all of that, but so anyway, I hope you guys read it. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. And so but yeah, I'm excited for this movie. It's gonna be bittersweet when it ends, but like I said in the last one, is this really the end? Because I've heard this before.